World of Tanks is a good game. No, really, I'm not some Wargaming shill, I'm not a loyalist. Look, I've been playing this game for 12 or 13 years and I just want it to be better. So why then is Wargaming so determined to kill it? I know World of Tanks is good because despite Wargaming's best efforts, it's still going. I mean, fuck, one of the most important parts of any game's marketing are content creators. But if you look at the new videos that are coming out about this event, it's insane. I mean, you got awesome epic guys to make a video dissing your blue boxes. That's impressive. Alright, look, I know there are so many different videos saying, oh, World of Tanks is dying, or here's what Wargaming needs to do, blah blah blah. I'm here to offer a new perspective, because I don't actually think Wargaming needs to do that much to save the game. Remember, this is the game that once dominated the free-to-play market, and now it just feels like it's being squeezed out for every last penny that the community has. But it doesn't have to be this way. There are so many different companies that would beg for the opportunity to have a platform as good as World of Tanks, and Wargaming's just fucking it up. I mean, here's an example. I like the new Myrni event. Is it lazy? Yeah. Do I wish there was more? Yeah. Is it just there to sell boxes? Yeah, but despite that, it's kind of fun, and it's not super easy. It is kind of challenging if you play it alone, and it just proves that even with Wargaming's greed, they can still make fun game modes. And that's why it's so baffling to me that Wargaming's willing to not just risk, but destroy the longevity of this game just for what? For a quick buck? Alright, this is just kind of turning into a rant, so here's the point. I recently watched this video, and I know that a lot of you did too, and there are so many good points in this video. There are some things I don't agree with. That's not the point. The point is, while this would make a better game, almost certainly, than the current World of Tanks, judging by the current relations between Chems and Wargaming, I don't think that's gonna happen. So, what needs to happen to make the game survive? Well, quite honestly, I don't think that much. World of Tanks is a very strong baseline, and I don't think we need all of these changes just to fix it. If Wargaming just changes a little bit, we can keep the game running. Just quickly, this is probably like the most effort I've ever put into a YouTube video. Like, I actually wrote a script, so please, I'm not asking much, just comment down below. Just comment what you think, that's all I want, please. While I can certainly go on forever about matchmaking and RNG and artillery, and I certainly want these things changed, I don't think they need to be changed, at least not that much, to make this game playable. There's no secret that the player base, especially in NA, is dwindling, and I think one of the main reasons is there's no new content, there's no reason to play. We need more game modes. Random battles are so repetitive, and once you get upset at the game mode, which, let's be honest, is going to happen with the way World of Tanks is, there's just nothing else. Now, I played Fortnite excessively in its prime, and I can tell you one of the main draws to the game for so many people were the limited time modes. Wargaming would benefit so greatly from something like this. Just every week, a new mode come in. It could be existing modes, just something other than randoms. And it's not just game modes, it feels like there's no reason to want to play the game anymore. Every single new tank is locked behind a loot box or locked behind a paywall. There's no incentive to actually want to play the game. Give us missions, give us marathons, give us some reason to log on and grind. And that's coming from me. I've been playing this game for over a decade. I've hit 3.5k multiple times. I could only imagine what a casual player would feel. Just imagine if these 7 new tanks, instead of being locked behind tiered loot box gambling, if there were missions in the actual event, if there were more things to do for you to earn them, or earn chances to buy them. I mean, imagine how much more motivation you would feel to want to play this new game mode if every 20,000 damage or every 50,000 damage you got a box, and that box had chances to get you the tank. You'd want to play the game, but as it is, you just have to open up your wallet and give Wargaming your money. It just feels like Wargaming is allergic to giving incentives to want to play their game. And the worst part is, none of these are problems with the actual game. These are problems with the strategies that Wargaming are using to introduce new content. There's no reason to play the game. It's turning the game into a museum of tanks that you can keep in your garage with no actual reason to click battle. But these aren't even big changes that need to happen. Wargaming has these game modes already prepared, they just need to release them more. Wargaming knows how to create missions, they've done it before. Wargaming knows how to use marathons, they've done it before. All they need to do is bring it back. Now, my opinion on premium tanks differs quite a bit from the majority opinion. I don't actually think there's much of a premium tank problem. Now, I know just by saying that I've angered you, but just give me a chance, okay? Now, I could make a whole separate video about this, but I don't want this one to be too long, so here's the long and short of it. The vast majority of premiums aren't a problem in this game. And even the ones that are problematic, when you think about it, aren't that big of an issue. Now, even the BZ for me might be a little bit OP, I can't defend that. But tanks like the Skoda, the Brask, the 703 aren't nearly as much of an issue as the community has set them out to be. Tanks like these have lots of ways to play around them. They have counterplay if you're just good enough. No, I think the real problem are the tech tree tanks. I mean, think about it. Every year there's a new OP premium tank that comes out. When the Defender came out, it was considered to be the most OP thing ever. And now it barely competes with the tech tree tanks that are released today. Now that's due to power creep, but the solution to this isn't to stop selling premiums, it's to rebalance the older tanks. And Wargaming's been doing this too with older premium tanks. So why can't they take that philosophy and apply them to tech tree tanks too? I mean, think about it. If we take the Skoda and we move it to tier 9 and we buff it a little bit to make it equal with the other tier 9s, you just have the same problem. It's either too OP at tier 9 or too weak at tier 9 and then nobody wants to play it anymore. No, I think the problem are the actual tech tree tanks themselves and that they can't compete not only with the premiums, but also with the higher tier vehicles that they're definitely going to see. And I'm not even saying that it's a bad idea to move these tanks up to tier 9 or to change the tiers around. I'm just giving a different perspective. So the obvious solution is to start rebalancing the tech trees, but that's a lot of work, and I'm trying to convince Wargaming that they don't need to do a lot of work. So, in the meantime, while that's happening, why don't we create marathons or missions or ways or just incentives to play the game that can give older players premium tanks? And I'm not talking about new premium tanks. You can still make your money by selling new tanks in loot boxes or whatever, but give casual players a way to get these old premium tanks by playing the game. Give them an incentive to want to play and a reward that's worth it. Like I said, I can make an entire different video about this, but if you want to hear more, just comment it down below. The grind in this game sucks for new players. Without spending any money, you have to grind all these terrible tanks completely stock, all while trying to learn the game. But the problem is, you never feel like you're learning the game because you started out at a disadvantage from everybody else. Wargaming needs to find a way to make this grind better, or the trend of new players quitting before they even start will continue, and that kills the game. I think one of the biggest problems are stock grinds. You can't learn the game while also being stock because you're just at a disadvantage from everybody else, and it's just not fair. That being said, I think stock grinds are a very dynamic part of the game, so I don't think it should be completely removed, but the XP needed to research some of these modules is absolutely ridiculous. I think all of the XP across the board on modules, not tanks, but only the modules, should be cut in half, if not cut into a third. This would allow you to still feel like you're progressing through the game, while not being at a complete disadvantage from everybody else. There should also be ways, like I said in the last part, for new players or casual players to get premium tanks. This gives them a massive incentive to keep playing the game and keep coming back and get their friends to play the game, and that's what saves this game. You can't just have no reason to play because people will stop playing. While this might not outright solve the new player problem, this would give Wargaming a much better trajectory than the one that they're headed right now. Wargaming is obviously a large company, and they need money to survive. There are so many different factors that go into monetizing the game. That being said, monetization aimed at getting a quick buck from the player base is severely harming the game and the community. Monetization should be done without alienating your player base and making players feel like a cash cow just to be milked by Wargaming. Now, here's where I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure how this could be done. I don't have one solution for this. I'm just a college student, you know, it's not my job to figure that out, but I know it can be done because I've seen it done in so many different games. As for loot boxes, contrary to what a lot of people think, I don't think loot boxes are always bad, and I think they could actually be good if done right. A shining example of this are the holiday ops boxes. These always give you their own value in gold, and they have other rewards that you could be obtained, and quite honestly, they're just fun to open. But now let me ask you a question. If there were more missions during holiday ops that allowed you to get loot boxes, would you play the game more? Of course you would. This all leads back to having more incentives to play the game, and Wargaming, if you're listening, if you give someone, let's say 20 free boxes, there's a very good chance they're going to buy the extra 30 to get their guaranteed tank. Adding missions like these, to me, is a complete win from all angles. Now, the other loot boxes are where this philosophy starts to fall off. The rewards are so bad that you either get literally nothing or a premium tank, and that doesn't create a fun environment. See, I don't think it's the idea of loot boxes themselves that are causing issues. I think it's the overuse of that model making World of Tanks feel more and more like a gacha game. And I understand that these boxes make Wargaming a lot of money, but if you introduce incentives to play the game and ways to get the boxes through missions, then that increases the longevity of the game, overall creating more revenue in the long run. I think Wargaming understands that they're not going to get any more money if the game dies, but rather than try to save it, they're just trying to squeeze as much out of it as they can before that happens. And for somebody who's put as much time, effort, and money into a game as I have, that's just sad to watch. I mean, I'm not even going to get started on these new tiered loot boxes because they're indefensible, and you know that because every single content creator has made a video similar to this one. let's be honest, the real problem is Wargaming's apparent inability to do anything. And to that, there is no real solution. I'm just trying to say, World of Tanks is a fantastic game when you really look at it, and I don't think you should hold Wargaming's mistakes to the actual game itself. I mean, just the fact that you're watching this video right now means that you still care about the game. But, I don't know. Look, World of Tanks would certainly benefit from a complete overhaul like in the Chems video, but I'm simply here to say that it doesn't need a complete rebuild to survive. World of Tanks is an amazing platform, and one that so many companies would beg to have. That's why it's so baffling to me that Wargaming is so willing to kill it just to fill their pockets in the short term. Sorry for making it so depressing at the end. Regularly scheduled funny moments will be back shortly, but sorry, I'm just passionate about this game, man, you know? Thanks for watching. Please, obviously, like and subscribe, but I want to know what you think. I want to know how you feel about this video. Please, in the comments, just write something. Thank you. Goodbye.